Hello fellow humans and welcome to another episode of your replays. This time starting with the 50 TP prototype, a tier 9 collector vehicle that was given away in a clan event some time ago and also other ways. It's got 2.3k DPM, 440 alpha damage, 0.34 accuracy, 8 degrees of gun depression, solid mobility and also decent armor as well. So it's a very solid pickup. However, obviously the regular 50 TP in the tech tree is very similar to it, so you're not really missing anything. It's sort of like the not rare AE phase 1, as in it's very similar to the vehicle that's already in the game, and you don't really need it. But it's a good vehicle nonetheless, just like the 53 TP, regularly. And, well, it's also a good beginner vehicle, the 50 TP, but more on that in another video. If you haven't seen the top 5 beginner vehicles, check it out. And to be fair, this tank right here, it really wasn't given away to beginners, because if it's in a clan event, you're not going to get it if you're just very new to the game and you don't even have any resemblance of what a clan even is. However, what this thing does have is tungsten shells, which I don't personally use because I'm too stupid to remember that I have to use it before firing rather than after, like with adrenaline, but it can be somewhat useful in boosting your DPM, which is exactly what it does. However, what I don't recommend doing, especially if you're new to the game or just playing normally and instead of trying to chase stats, always use a multi-kit and a repair kit and one special consumable rather than using adrenaline and tungsten at the same time, because you're just going to have a lot of problems with your tank health if you get involved into any sort of brawls, because the cooldowns, they're over a minute. And error 404 user not unfound, but it's not found, it's just unfound. Is there a limit on how long the username can be? Did not fit anymore. Just, if you're watching this, please tell me. But why are you unfound? Do you not want to be found? Okay. The ML thinks that a mouse is a pig. He didn't pay attention in biology, did he? Because a mouse is a rodent and a pig is a pig. So, in this case, 4 versus 4. And preserving hit points while doing significant amount of damage. That's pretty much how any good game happens, or well, most good games happen, is you preserve your hit points, you do a lot of damage in the early stages of the game, because that's where everything's disorganized and chaotic, but you preserve your hit points. And then in the middle of the game, you just find yourself the odd tank here and there that's isolated, that's on their own, that can't fight anybody, and that doesn't have any backup. You fight them, you do even more damage, and then at the end of the battle, when everyone's low HP, when everyone's completely out of shape and chaotic, then you ideally have preserved some of your hit points and you're able to completely carry through, because you can trade and they can't. And now the 777 is dead, which is very lovely. And here's a chieftain. A very nice use of the dead 777 here to make perfect use of the armor there. Now, obviously, the vehicle's not quite high enough to cover all of the tanks, so gotta be a bit careful here. At least you're capturing B and Supremacy. If you're a new player, don't play Supremacy. Like, you're in your first 2,000 to 3,000 battles, you should not touch this mode whatsoever, because it's simply going to make you play worse. Because you're gonna try to go city, you're gonna try to go take cap circles in cities, and then when you go back to encounter battles, you're gonna suck. So don't play this mode unless you're good at encounter already, ideally. And if you're not good at anything, then try Minecraft. It's fun, I heard. Possibly. But yeah, try to carry your own weight and have fun. And here, the driver isn't having a lot of fun because he's dead. And you need a repair kit to get him back. Shove that wrench up his ass and he's awake like he's never been before. And now, there he is. Now, this is T125 left alive. However, the mouse and the WZ are both one-shot. So this could still get a bit hairy if they decide to push, which is exactly what they're doing. The mouse just cliff dived down there for whatever reason. I mean, they could have simply taken the A capture circle and played the supremacy points, but instead they're trying to fight a pretty much 80% T125 while being one-shot. So impressively badly handled there. And here is the chieftain that is still alive, that's still kicking. That is now big threat up there. And there's the E5, and the mouse is now dead. And, well, that's a bit unfortunate. the E5 hits the track. Take your time. If you're in a situation like this, you're a 2v1, take your time, pin that shot, you'll be fine. But he didn't do that. He didn't take his time. And now it's only the chieftain left alive, but we can skip the rest of this battle because the only thing that happens is that Era just goes to supremacy cap and caps, and then that's it. Game number 2 brings us to Mines and the KPZ-50T, a combination of the E50M and the Leopard, but it's not as well armored and good at ramming as the 50M and not quite as deadly as the Leopard. But overall, it is a very good vehicle that is pretty much worth picking up if you're already a somewhat decent player. Now, the thing is, Mines, the hill is very important. And where is the enemy medium? An STB-1. A tank built for the ridges and built for the hills is down in the ditch on a flat plain with no cover to his weak hull. That is impressively bad gameplay from the STB right there. And now the hill is in complete control of the KPZ-50T. And those heavies down there, they're gonna get wrecked. And I also have no idea what the TVP it is, I think, from the silhouette, is doing, because he's in the enemy spawn. He's about to die to said mentioned STB, which is a tragedy in its own right. But these heavies, what are they gonna do? If they look forward, they're gonna get shot by the KPZ-50T. If they look sideways, they're gonna get shot by the heavies. And there's the TVP dead. And the STB dead. Impressive. Don't pick a medium as your first tier 10 if you don't have a clue what's going on. If you're bad in a tier 8 medium, you're going to be bad in a tier 10 medium. But if you're great in a tier 8, you're going to be good in a tier 10, basically. And now there's a 183 over there, which is quite a bit of danger there. And I'm sort of scared at the carelessness. I mean, I do this as well, where I just simply don't care if there's a 183 on the other side of the map. But it's a very risky business as to, are you going to get shot for 1300 damage, or are you going to stay up here, be full HP, and farm the entirety of those poor souls down there? This is pretty damn impressively bad gameplay from the enemy team. And now there's a 183, and he's looking at the other 183, and now he's going to get wrecked because he's not doing anything. There's the Panzer down in the ditch, but it don't matter at this point. The enemy team has completely played this backwards, and so badly that they're getting their asses kicked massively. Now, surprisingly, they were ahead on tanks because Lorenzo's team here wasn't really good either. But given that Lorenzo did an absolutely obscene amount of damage, they're all one-shots, which makes it somewhat easy to win. Anyway, 6.3k damage in 3 minutes from the top of the hill. Not a single hit point lost. That is gameplay. And now, the only thing that is left is a T124 to find, and that should be pretty easy. There's no way the T124 in this position can even win, or even know where Lorenzo is. And now he's going to get finished off. Just about. Very easily. So yeah, people, the hill on Mines is kind of important. It's a horrible map, but you kind of want to take attention to it. Otherwise, you're going to allow great players to make that happen. And you don't want that. But you do want to like and subscribe, I hope. See you in the next one. Goodbye.